Ladies and gentlemen, it's I, Mr. Wade, here to introduce you to the wonderful world of Photoshop. Today we're going to begin with just a general overview of the program, what it looks like, and how to maneuver just some of the basic functions of Photoshop. Okay, so you should have opened your program to what looks like this page. You might have some tutorial clutter in the beginning that you should close down. And you should be looking at something like this. Now, anytime you begin Photoshop, you really have one of two options. You can start something new or open an existing project. For us, we will begin with an existing project. And there are various ways to go about opening a project. I think the simplest one would be to drag and drop, select here by navigating the folder system. Or I think the easiest one is just go to File and go to Open. And find the folders you want to open. All right, so we're going to begin with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different projects today. Okay, so this is what Photoshop looks like. You should have a vertical toolbar to the left, some panels to the right. I recommend that you make some opening tweaks. When you start Photoshop for the first time, it's likely that your screen probably looks something more like this. I would recommend that you make the adjustments to undo that, maximizing the document panel and expanding the layers panel. Of course, you can do that by floating your cursor in the borders, waiting for the double arrow, and then clicking and dragging here or there. This just maximizes the document area, which is just more precious screen time. Okay, so on the top, we have some context-specific values that we don't really need to worry about. We do have some tabs that have broken up the various projects that we'll be looking at. And in the event that for whatever reason you felt like closing them, that's easily done. You click on the left side for Macs, the right side for PCs, and then you can open them up again, find them here in the recent menu. As so, it's pretty straightforward. You can also get back to the home menu if you're so inclined by clicking on the home again, and that'll take you right back there. Now, I'd just like to go over some basic maneuvering functions to navigate through your visual projects. The first thing that I'd like you to know about is zooming in and zooming out. Now this is Control or Command depending on if you have PC or Mac. My Mac has the command. I'm going to press Command and I'm going to press the plus button. And boom, I'm zoomed in. I press the minus and I zoom out. Pretty straightforward. And you'll notice if I zoom in far enough, I get the clumpy grid system that we find in Photoshop. Okay, so that's zooming in and zooming out. Another thing that you should be aware of is Control 0. Now, oftentimes when you begin a project, you'll see this gray pasteboard area surrounding it. If you just want to zoom in exactly to the size of your project, it's Command Control 0. Okay? Another thing that I think is pretty useful to know is the hand tool. And the hand tool happens once you're zoomed in, looking pretty close at a project. You can press the space bar, you get the hand, and then you can click and drag and pull the image to wherever you'd like it to be. Okay? So this is a very handy tool. Ha! Handy. All right, I'm going to press Control 0 and zoom out. The last thing I'd like you to know about is the Z tool. The Z tool is a means of zooming in particular parts wherever you would like to see specifically using the search icon. So I've pressed the Z, the 4 arrow turns to a cross, and then I'm tapping the mouse and I get zoomed in to wherever it is I'm looking at. Again, that's Z, and then tap or click, and boom, you're zoomed in. There's one other thing that I feel inclined to mention, and that's the Control 1, and that will take you to a 100% view of your project. It's different from Control Z. Control C, you see all of it. Control 1, you see actually 100% quality of what it actually is. All right, so those are that's just a rough overview of Photoshop. Wonderful program. I look forward to talking more about the tool bar in our next video.